guess what? You are consuming tons of a certain little molecule called caffeine. Do you know what caffeine is? Well, why would you put something in your body that you have no idea what it is? Allow me to educate you. Caffeine is a little molecule that packs a big punch. Caffeine is a central nervous system stimulant of the methylxanthine class. It is the world's most widely consumed psychoactive drug. Yep, you heard that right. Caffeine is most definitely a drug. Unlike many other psychoactive substances, it is legal and unregulated in nearly all parts of the world. These are the basic tenets you should probably know before consuming caffeine. The benefits, the not-so-benefits, the history, and possible future applications. Well, all right, let's go! Contrary to popular beliefs, caffeine actually has some major health benefits as well as just benefits in general. I will briefly describe 23 of them. 1. In Japan, researchers have shown that caffeine increases memory. 2. Caffeine mixed with carbs replenishes muscle glycogen concentrations faster after exercise. 3. Caffeine detoxes the liver and cleanses the colon when taken as a caffeine enema. 4. Caffeine helps you stay alert while driving during periods of sleep restriction. 5. Caffeine can stimulate hair growth on men and women. 6. Caffeine relieves post-workout muscle pains by up to 48%. 7. Caffeine may protect against Parkinson's disease. 8. Caffeine helps wards off Alzheimer's. 9. Caffeine increases stamina during exercise. Number 10. Caffeine through coffee protects against eyelid spasm. Number 11. Caffeine may protect against cataracts. Number 12. Caffeine may prevent skin cancer. Number 13. People who consume caffeine have a lower risk of suicide. Number 14. Caffeine may reduce fatty liver. Number 15. Caffeine-consuming men should increase semen volume and significantly less sperm DNA fragmentation. Number 16. Men who consume 250 to 375 milligrams of caffeine per day have a much lower risk of developing erectile dysfunction. Number 17. Caffeine may prevent ringing in the ears or tinnitus in women. Number 18. Caffeine reduces kidney stone risk. Number 19. Caffeine improves reaction time and logical reasoning. Number 20. Caffeine helps those with asthma. Number 21. Reduces driver error. 22. Finally, caffeine may prevent weight gain. Here, take a sip. You'll be better in no time. Now, kid, there's something I've got to break to you. Although there are some amazing benefits, everything's got its dark side. Here are some of caffeine's negatives. More than 4 cups of coffee is linked to early death. Caffeine consumption may raise blood pressure. Increased risks of heart attacks among young adults. Caffeine linked to gout attacks. Breast tissue cysts in women. Caffeine could cause incontinence. Caffeine may cause insomnia. Caffeine can cause indigestion. Caffeine can cause headaches. Caffeine could reduce fertility in women. Caffeine can cause miscarriage risk. Caffeine may not be healthy for type 2 diabetes. Caffeine overdose is possible and could possibly lead to symptoms such as death. Being allergic to caffeine is very possible for some people. Caffeine causes more heart contradictions. Caffeine causes worse menopause symptoms. Caffeine consumption can lead to increased anxiety, depression, and the need for anxiety medication. Caffeine increases the amount of sugary beverages consumed by people. Caffeine inhibits collagen production in the skin. Caffeine interferes with ossification and could lead to greater risk of bone fractures. Caffeine does not help with sleep deprivation, and caffeine may impair hearing loss recovery.
Okay.
Oh, here, you didn't finish your coffee. Come, my child, and let me read you my favorite story, The History of Caffeine. One of the most eccentric findings was in Ethiopia. The story goes is that a farmer who recently moved his goats to a new field found them to be very restless and antsy. The next few weeks, he watched over them closely. What he found out was that his goats were munching on strange small berries. berries were later dried out and called coffee beans. There are many stories similar to this that include caffeine. Such as tea was discovered when Emperor Xinnong from China decided to sit underneath a tree with a coincidentally cup of boiling water. A leaf fell from the tree he was sitting under, and he created what is now tea. And he quickly began to spread the idea. Even the Mayans had their fair share with caffeine. All of the Mayans' famous chocolate, which was actually a liquid and very bitter and spicy, contained loads of caffeine. But caffeine was officially discovered in 1819 by Friedrich Runge, a German analytical chemist. He was given a box of Arabian mocha beans by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, his very close and good friend. Goethe thought that there was something intriguing about the beans. Runge promised his good friends that he would closely research them, and that he did. Runge researched the beans every day and night for what seemed like months. After days of hard research, it was from this sample that Runge isolated the first sample of caffeine, and thus, caffeine was officially discovered. Why are you so much older, you might ask? Why, we are in the future! Now comes the most exciting part about learning caffeine. The future of caffeine! Future is exciting in general, so naturally, the future of caffeine will be no different, full of inventions and tons of tests. Such as a new gizmo currently in the making, the caffeine bracelet, or the Joule. The Joule passes caffeine into your bloodstream via a plastic bracelet, which works by a process called transdermal administration. The process is similar to how a nicotine patch works. A patch in the bracelet gives off the same amount of caffeine as a regular cup of coffee for over 4 hours. This means that users can avoid the horrible roller coaster of energy states that a lot of coffee drinkers experience. Have you ever wanted the same effect of coffee without having to actually take the time to drink it? Well, wait no longer. New gummy coffee cubes are currently in the process of being made. No more waiting in long lines to get your daily coffee intake. Now you can just pop a gummy cube in your mouth, which contains 50 milligrams of caffeine each. Also, they are vegan. Another cool invention inspired from the benefits of caffeine is something called sprayable energy. It is a type of spray that gives the user a healthier and more effective alternative to coffee and energy drinks. You spray it onto your skin to get focused energy without the downsides of energy drinks such as sugars, calories, and heartburn. They also have sprayable sleep, which basically does the exact opposite. New research studies suggest that caffeine may also assist in finding the cure for cancer. Research shows that caffeine interferes with processes in cancer cells that control DNA repair, a finding that has generated interest using the stimulant as chemotherapy treatment. But since caffeine can be toxic at high doses, researchers from the faculties of medicine instead opted to use it to identify genes and pathways responsible for DNA repair. So yes, caffeine addiction is very real and should be avoided as well as the negative effects of caffeine. But if we all learn to take things in moderation, we could transform caffeine into a great benefit to our way of life.
Well, how are we going to get back?
You know, I haven't thought that part out yet.